My name is Bob Center, and I'm your Master of Ceremonies today, and I'm also the Chair of the Advocacy Committee for the Texas City La Marque Chamber of Commerce. The new chairman, the past chairman, Chris DeVries, held this post for 6 years, 3 legislative sessions, and really brought the Advocacy Committee from its infancy to where we now have a very respected voice, both in Austin and in Washington. So, Chris, thank you for your service to the Chamber as the Chair of the Advocacy Committee. Thank you, Chris. Today is your chance that the Chamber provides to hear from our top elected officials. Today we'll hear from County Commissioner Giusti, we'll hear from Mayor Bell, and we will hear from Mayor Johnson. All the things that are important and what's going on the past year in Galveston County and our cities, and also what's going to happen ahead, and as we look forward to the rest of 2022 for our county and our cities. Before we begin, I'd like to thank I-45 Now for their coverage of this event. Their reach is growing by leaps and bounds every week, and we're thrilled to have I-45 Now here today. He could not be in attendance for our chamber banquet last month, and as you may remember if you were there, we did have some remarks to be made about his tenure and his service, but with him being here today, we wanted to say thank you in person. For 20 years, Larry Taylor has represented our communities, Texas City and La Marque, with great dignity. His work ethic, his passion, his diplomacy, his poise, and his ability to work across the aisle in providing legislation for all of our businesses and citizens has been epic. He has been the man for us in Austin. Whether it was Texas windstorm insurance reform, whether it was education, protecting small businesses, ensuring that our large businesses were protected, and then ultimately helping all of our citizens with their daily needs from Austin, Larry Taylor was the perfect fit for Texas City and La Marque. We are sad to see him retire, but we hope that you enjoy this next chapter of your life. We've got a little gift. It's a cooler, but it is filled with golf balls and a wine opener. Senator Taylor, thank you for a job well served.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you to this chamber. It has truly been my honor and privilege to work for this community in this area. I think we've had a great ride. We've gotten a lot of good things done, and I look forward to continue. I'm not disappearing. I'll be around, but I'm not running for office, and I'm already enjoying not having to do that. But thank you so much. I want to thank the voters who've given me the opportunity to do this. It would not have happened without you, and I just appreciate you giving the confidence, having confidence in me to do this and to take on this role. And like I said, it's been my highest honor and privilege to serve you, the people of this great area. Thank you very much, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. These lunches don't happen without some great sponsors. Our presenting sponsor today, UTMB Health. Thank you, UTMB Health, for your sponsorship. Now I'd like to call to the stage Jed Webb, Director of Government Relations for Galveston County Judge Mark Henry's office, and he will introduce our first speaker, Commissioner Giusti. Jed?
Oh, thank you all. Before I introduce Commissioner Giusti, I was with Commissioner Clark today, this morning. He's recovering well, so he just sends his regards and his apologies for not being able to be with us today, but he just asked if I do that. So, but it is my pleasure to introduce Joe Giusti. I don't think it gets more Galveston County than Joe. So, Joe Giusti, a lifelong Galveston County resident, retired Galveston Police Department officer, where he served in almost every division of the department. Joe spent 12 years as his motorcycle officer and dedicated 12 years to the Galveston SWAT team as a point man and team leader. As a former chief deputy constable, Joe helped lead and a successful constable office to becoming one of the best in Texas. Joe has been active in the community for years. Joe has been both a public and private, in public and private service. As a former director of security at Landers Inc. in the Galveston area, he had a responsibility for thousands of employees and guests, requiring him to handle budgets, oversee loss prevention, manage buildings, schedules, and people. Joe is recognized as a leader in our community and active in many local organizations. He's a lifetime, and a long time, I guess, volunteer at Lighthouse Charity Team and a co-director of the emergency response. That's what we sure need in our community. We appreciate that. He's a member of the Tucker Lodge in Galveston and the Serenity Lodge in Santa Fe. He's a current member of the Hitchcock Chamber of Commerce, and Joe currently is on the board of directors of the Family Service Center. Former chairman of the Santa Fe Chamber of Commerce, former chairman of the Bay Area Boy Scouts, Friends of Scouting Santa Fe, and Friends of Santa Fe annual fundraiser. Joe is a former president and board member of both Santa Fe Little League and Santa Fe High School Baseball Boosters Club. In recognition of his service to the community, Joe was voted by the Santa Fe Chamber of Commerce in 2009 as the Man of the Year, as well as in 2012, the Deputy Constable of the Year by the 50 Club of Galveston County. In 1993, he was the Officer of the Year of the Combined Law Enforcement Association of Texas. Joe was also chosen by the Hitchcock Chamber of Commerce as the Man of the Year in 2013. Joe has been married to the love of his life, Donna, for 31 years. They have two children, Amanda, who's a registered nurse, and Kyle, who's an assistant baseball coach at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. And they have two grandsons, Logan and Declan, and Joe Giusti.
Thank you, Jed. Miss Page, does that count toward my 10 minutes? She said 10 minutes. I'm like, I've never talked 10 minutes in my life. So I'll see what I can do here. First off, a couple of thank yous and kind of play on what Jed just read. Kathy Thomas. Kathy goes back to my days with GPD when I was in narcotics, and she was with the Galveston Daily News, and she would ride with us. And Doug Matthews, thank you so much for helping me out among the years and getting me where I am today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd like to start off by thanking the City La Marque Chamber of Commerce. Without y'all, Galveston County wouldn't be as great as it is. Between y'all and the rest of the chambers in this county, we're blessed. We're truly, truly blessed. Thank you to all the businesses here today. Because of y'all, there again, Galveston County is what it is. You know, our population has grown in the last 10 years due to the census from 291,000 to 350,682 as of April 1st. That's pretty incredible. That growth is due to a lot of factors. The biggest part of that factor is you folks in this room right now. I'm proud to be here today with Mayor Johnson of Texas City and Mayor Bella Lamarck. Thank y'all for being here as well. Economic development for Galveston County. That's where we're going to start off and talk a little bit about. I'm very excited to announce that Galveston was just named the 5th best county in the country for business, for small business. That came from Smart Asset, which is an online deal if y'all know anything about them. It's great. It's a huge accomplishment. Let me get this right. It's a very huge accomplishment, and it's, I think, attributed to our low taxes with the county, our limited government, and our pro-business mentality for Galveston County. Everybody knows that that's Galveston County. You want to do business, this is where you come do business. The only thing we're starting, and we still got a lot of land, but eventually we're gonna run out of land. So if you know realtors out there now, go grab you some more, because eventually Houston folks are gonna take it up. This is a testament to the hard work and advocacy of City La Marque Chamber and all the other chambers in Galveston. During the pandemic, these groups, all these chambers came together basically and came up with ideas to keep us running and alive in Galveston County. And they did a great job of it. You know, we had the task force that was started up by Judge Henry, that brought businesses together, that brought chambers together, and that really did a lot as far as focusing on what we can do to remain open, because that was the key. That's why Galveston County has been so successful. Economic development, you know, because of post-pandemic relocations, expansions, and the way things have restored from there, there's more commercial and industrial development going on now than there has been in years in this area. You know, a big part of that is Texas City and La Marque, with a lot of the things that they have done to attract businesses. You know, between the Amazon folks and, you know, Lago Mar. Lago Mar is a great example. Lago Mar, if you haven't seen this or read it, Lago Mar was just named by the Houston Builders Association as the Master Plan Community of the Year. That is a testament to the leadership in these cities, that they had the foresight to get these people coming in and doing their, what they do best, and giving them the breaks that they need sometimes. I know a lot of people don't like tax breaks and things and TERS and reinvestment zones and all that, but you know what? They work. It gets companies coming in. Another example is La Marque with the dog track. You know, that's working, that's coming in. All these things are adding to what we're doing in Galveston County. And like I said, people want to come to Galveston County, not just to relocate their business, but they want a place that their employees can grow and live and thrive. And right here, that's what we're all about. Port of Galveston, Port of Texas City, they're thriving right now. They're doing very well. Galveston with the cruise terminals and other things, and Texas City, there's things that weren't profitable a few years ago that now they can go after and chase those businesses and start doing things. They are profitable now. And so, developers are seeking land here in Galveston County desperately. They want something near the ports, but they want something that's not in flood zones. And speaking of flood zones, there's been a lot done recently to try and alleviate a lot of our flooding. From the state, to the county, to the cities, everybody is working on flooding. That's kind of been a main issue of mine, and I know everybody in this room for a while now, especially since Harvey. Can you predict a Harvey, or you can prevent a Harvey? No, but you can make it better. You can make it less. I had 12 inches in my house. Next time I hope I don't have anything in my house. But if I do, if it's only 2 inches, it's still the same amount of work. But it doesn't feel as bad at 1 in the morning when the water's coming up around your knees and you and your dog are sitting on the couch watching TV waiting to unplug it before it hits the electrical plug. So, everybody's been there, you know. But that's a major thing that we've been working on, is trying to do that. And that's a big part of the economic development, is having areas that don't flood and having the ability to go to Washington and go to the state and let's, get them to help us fight against these crazy FEMA regulations and things that are coming out with Mays. You fought windstorm for years, thank you. And, the windstorm insurance, the flood insurance, we've got to keep that down. If you've got a place along a beach somewhere, you can't afford to live there. People are coming in looking at homes, and it's like, oh yeah, I can afford the house, until they look at the insurance for the house and they pass on the sale. And so, there's a lot of things we could do better for that, for economic development, and we're working on it. We are working on it. I-45 expansion. How old are y'all? When I was a kid, they were doing it. They tell me they're getting close. I don't know. I just saw a new plan the other day. They're starting in the Tiki area, down right before the causeway. They're starting down there now, and it's the plans look good, and it's going to help them. And then from there, there's another one that's supposed to crank out after that. It's kind of a flyover to 61st Street on the island side. Will it help? It should help get traffic out of town. Of course, it's going to flood you guys up the highway a little bit when all that traffic hits you. But it's working. They're doing a lot. They're doing the best they can. The increase, the global demand for LNG is helping our areas and our ports. It's great for the Texas City and you know, Galveston and any other port in the area. There are other things to look at as well. Tourism is back. It never left, I don't think. But being part of the tourism industry in Galveston, it was crazy this summer. I've never seen hotels charge the kind of money they did, and people paid it. I'm talking smaller hotels that were $150 a night a couple of years ago, $500 a night. And they're sold out on the weekend. It's insane. People want to come down here, and we have a lot to offer, so, and that shows. County updates real quick. I don't know how long I've been talking, but I'm not going to talk too much longer. County updates. Facility projects. We have several things that are being built right now that are already under construction or about to break ground on. Numerous facilities. Road and bridge facility on Highway 3. It's coming along. That building is like in a 1940s bunker looking building, and it's pretty nasty and ugly and not real good. $8.5 million we're spending on that, thanks to everybody with the bond issues. The renovation and expansion of the North County Annex, which is also known as Calder Road. You know, if you know where that is, our North County Annex. It's a $12.2 million project. What that's going to do is that's going to help Ms. Johnson with her tax office. We're expanding the tax office. We're expanding all the different offices in there. We're expanding them and making it better and more available to the public. The Bay Cliff Annex. Bay Cliff Annex has been overlooked for quite a while. It's coming along. $5.8 million. And to me, the big one is new medical examiner's office. I don't think anybody in here would have seen the medical examiner's office, really. I hope not. Yeah, some of y'all have. But it was to the point of, in the summertime, we were having to rent refrigerated trailers to put bodies in. It was terrible. Because the refrigeration system inside was so bad. It was so old and antiquated. Literally, we were using refrigerated trailers. It's a disgusting situation. $6.4 million is going into the new one. Hopefully it will be ready in the winter. This winter, actually, so pretty soon. Progress on bond issues. We've made major progress with Texas City. And so, you know, we're coming along there. Birch Road, Dickinson Road, Santa Fe. We've done work all over the county with the bond stuff. So major projects are still underway. Highland Bio, a lot. There's a lot going on. Public health, real quick. COVID, it's on its way back down again with the Omicron variant. So we're doing good there. County budgets, again, we cut the tax rate again for the 11th straight year. We've reduced the tax rate. I'm not going to say we reduced your taxes. We reduced your rate 10.8%. We've maintained a AAA bond rating, and we've cut the public debt by 47% in the last 10 years. So we're doing a good job with the county, and it's mostly due to y'all because it's easy to do it when there's new folks coming into the county because they love the county, new construction. All these things help us lower our tax rate because we got more people to tax. Plain and simple. Thank y'all very much again. Thank you for being here.
Next, will you please help me welcome Chief Randall Argonne. He is the police chief and interim city manager for the city of La Marque. He is going to introduce Mayor Keith Bell. Chief.
Thank you, Bob. I'm a recycler. I guess everybody knows that. I've been here before. But Mayor Keith Bell has served the Galveston County community for 27 years. First as a firefighter, then as a union leader, and a civic volunteer to government, nonprofits, and additional organizations. For the last 17 years, Keith Bell has served the greatest city in Texas. I'll say this, La Marque. For 17 years as a council member, mayor pro tem, and as of 2021, our new mayor. You know, having been serving in leadership for 3 or 4 decades, I humorously place leaders in 3 categories. First, those that make things happen. Second, those that watch things happen. And last, those that have no earthly idea what's happening. I will say this about our mayor. This is one leader that definitely makes good things happen. I am honored to present to you Mayor Keith Bell of La Marque.
Good afternoon. How is everybody? Well, I don't know that I had the same time limit, Commissioner, but I will see if I can get through this as quickly as possible. Let me say this, if I don't say anything else to you today, this great body, the rumors of our demise are greatly exaggerated. We are doing just fine in the city of La Marque. In fact, we're doing better than fine. Commissioner Giusti, Mayor Johnson, this illustrious chamber, and all of you who have been assembled here today, the state of our city, the city of La Marque, is resilient. And resilient is an adjective, and it means that we're able, one would be able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. And certainly that has been our journey in La Marque, but that has also been our success. We have the ability to recover quickly from difficult conditions. July 2nd, 2021, in an effort to undermine and destabilize our entire government, 6 upper-level managers resigned. They were not fired. They simply resigned. But we're resilient in La Marque, and 8 months later, we have replaced all of those directors, and we have replaced all of them with directors that we feel are better than what we had previously. And on tomorrow, this city council is scheduled to name our next city manager. We are a resilient city. In our public works department, we struggled to maintain staffing. Many of our staff members left for better pay. They left for better equipment, and they left because of other concerns in their working environment. But our city and our public works department, again, is a resilient department. Coming soon to La Marque, there are 4 new staff members. Those staff members will be tasked with clearing and maintain our drainage system, the drainage ditches, the easements, and the right-of-ways. Also, in our public works department, we've completed this year, finally, the drainage work on Westwood Circle. We've completed over 5,000 feet of sewer line being replaced. We also, this year, have dedicated $1 million in new equipment, including an aerial bucket truck, a front-end loader, a combo pressure vacuum truck, and a gradar. This year, in 2022, finally, thank you, Commissioner Giusti, our city will receive $3.73 million in street repairs from the 2017 county bond, and we're awaiting those monies so that we can repair many of our streets. And this year, we hope to begin work on Mary and Melody Lane, the drainage project that has been delayed because of inspections by the state and federal governments. This year, our fire department suffered tremendous losses as well. In fact, we suffered the most tremendous loss. Engineer Jesse Terubiate lost his battle with COVID, and I consider that to be a loss in the line of duty. Our firefighters also suffered losses of other personnel, breakdowns in equipment, and staffing issues, but our fire department is resilient. And they've been working this entire year on a plan with the Texas Commission of Fire Protection, and in that plan, they scored 97 out of 100 in their most recent evaluation, and that's the highest our fire department has ever scored. We also received in our fire department the first ever zero deficiency audit in our TCO audit. TCO is the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. They govern our fire investigators and our fire marshals. This again was the highest score we ever achieved. February 1st, 2022, we were alerted that our ISO rating has decreased from a 3 into a 2. And that means that for our homeowners in La Marque and our business owners, we should receive lower homeowners and property insurance premiums. But that's not it. Also, our fire department has created partnerships with Safe Kids of Greater Houston for a safety seat check program. They have also partnered with the Insurance Council of Texas for smoke detector installation for our seniors. And the council has upgraded 2 of our ambulances to the tune of $300,000 so that we can upgrade our emergency medical response in our city. Our Economic Development Corporation has also suffered loss. There has been economic suffering in our city due to COVID. Many of our businesses have closed. Many of our projects have been delayed. And there's been job loss. But my friends, the Economic Development Corporation is resilient as well. We witnessed Amazon opening their doors October 2021, 550 jobs for our community. We also have witnessed Alex Getty and Chairman Ron Crowder, along with the rest of our Economic Development Corporation, work feverishly to bring our dog track property into focus so that we can work with developing partners to develop the dog track site to bring more amenities to our community. And despite all of the work that Commissioner Giusti has shared with us, the work going on I-45, our city has had an increase of 7% in our sales tax this year alone. With those monies, our Economic Development Corporation expanded the shipping and receiving capacity of our local UPS shipping and receiving business to help facilitate our residents and their ability to ship and receive packages. We have also worked with small businesses such as Evelyn's Alterations and Choice Analytical to upgrade them and to make sure that our small business community is being supported. We've also introduced a concept called Market on 3, which is our rendition or our version of the traditional farmers market. Doing all that, our EDC still had time to win yet another award on economic development. Friends, our city, despite what you may heard, our city is the second fastest growing city in our county. Last year, we authorized 223 permits for new homes, 56 permits for new commercial structures or newly remodeled commercial structures. So we're growing at a fast pace, but we're cleaning up as we grow as well. And that means that we have issued 318 junk vehicle citations. We have witnessed 82 illegal dumping sites to be cleaned and removed. We have filed 557 liens against those property owners that are violating the code in our city. We maintain 86 overgrown lots in our city, and since 2015, our city has demolished 175 homes. Our city is resilient. In finance, we're recovering from a routine audit that suggested to us that our best practices in the way that we bill our water services are not in line with the best practices, and so because of that, we refunded our citizens a total of $10 because the oversight cost them no more than $10 for an entire year. But our finance department, again, as I said, friends, they're resilient, and they moved past that, and they've rebounded and put us in the best position possible to have exciting new things in our community, for they are responsible for helping us to implement the $48.9 million grants that we received for our wastewater treatment plant and sewer repairs, work scheduled to begin 2023. They're responsible for helping disperse the $7.5 million that we received for replacing our manholes in our city. the $1.2 million that we received to repair Mary and Melody Lane, the $3.73 million that we received from the county and the Economic Development Corporation to repair our streets, the $4.3 million that we received for infrastructure and capital improvements from the American Rescue Plan. They are also responsible for facilitating a 2% COLA raise across the board so that all of our employees might have their salaries adjusted for the cost of living. And let me say very quickly, very briefly, that our council has suffered tremendous attack. It has been unwarranted, it has been unfounded, and there has not been a shred of evidence as it relates to the conduct of our council. I'm proud of our council. In fact, our council is considered the most transparent council that La Marque has ever seen. We had 5 budget workshops. We had 2 budget hearings, 4 tax rate hearings. I've personally had 3 tax forums since our tax rate was passed. And this council works together to be at as many HOA meetings, community meetings, town hall meetings that we possibly can. We actually listen to our constituency and we actually represent them according to their needs. But also, in my opinion, the department that has suffered the worst in our city has been the police department. Our police department has suffered from inadequate facilities. They've suffered from inadequate leadership. They've suffered from inadequate equipment and pay and unrealistic expectations. And those, my friends, have taken their toll on our department. This past year, Winter Storm Uri caused over half of our department members to contract COVID. The working conditions in our police department got so low that many of our veteran officers left. Our morale was dangerously low, all while we are in this country in the midst of one of the greatest upticks in crime that our nation has ever seen. And it is true that our city, in fact, ranks high in state averages of violent crime and property crime. It is true that over 25 murders in our city are unsolved today. It is true that there are over 300 felony cases in our city that are unsolved today. But our police department is resilient. We understand and we know in our city that the vast majority, friends, of crimes that have been committed in our city, in particular violent crimes, we know this to be true, and this is factual information. The vast majority of them are committed by actors that don't live in our city. And they are committed against victims that don't live in our city. But we're resilient. And we welcome back Chief Randall Argonne, one of the most effective chiefs that we've had in the 21st century. We brought him back because during his first tenure here, our crime was at an all-time low. We brought him back because of his philosophy of community policing. We found in our city that that is the best philosophy for our constituency. Our community wants our police department to be engaged in an ongoing partnership. But not only that, we have also reshaped our entire leadership team. We've promoted 4 new leadership officers in our police department. So from our police chief down through our deputy chief, through our lieutenants, we have an entirely different leadership team. And the results have been immediate. Morale is up in our department. Officers are engaged. The excitement is palpable. And currently, we have witnessed a 28% drop in violent crime and a 19% drop in property crime. La Marque, my friends, is resilient. With Chief Argonne, we finally completed our Safe City initiatives, and we finally completed our planning sessions, And council just this past meeting adopted 5 goals for our Safe City initiative. And those goals are surrounded with the love, the intention, the passion, the drive, the energy, and the focus, not only of our city council and our police department, but of our entire community. We are tired of suffering through criminal activity. And as I said to you the last time I was here, if I do nothing else for the city of La Marque, I want to do all in my power to make sure that we are the safest city in the state of Texas. Now, we're going to need some help. Certainly, we have provided as many positions as we could to our police department. We've added 6 positions to them, the deputy chief. We've added 2 detectives, 1 narcotics and 1 that the chief will assign. We've added 2 street crimes officers. We've also added a social worker to help with crime, not only crime when it happens, but the after effects of crime. We've added 10 police cars, and we are in conversation to bring to our community a bond election that will provide for our police department and for our city a brand new police station. The police station that our police department currently are housed in is 9,000 square feet. Police departments for cities and departments our size, police stations, should be at least 18,000 square feet. Dispatchers don't have bathrooms. Our officers don't have lockers. They don't have showers. They don't have a way to secure their weaponry. Our evidence room is subpar, and it is, at this point in time, it is infiltrated with mold and mildew. We need a new police station, and those things will be brought, hopefully, to our citizens for a vote in May. Now, I've mentioned to you a lot of things that we have, that have occurred in our city, a lot of great things that have occurred in our city. But there is one small issue. And that issue is that our city is also going through a tax rollback. You see, our community has grown so quickly. The valuations of our property exceeded 3.5%. And there was, in 2019, a bill, Senate Bill 2, that basically regulated cities' growth. And basically, it suggested that if a city were to grow past 3.5%, then they would be subject to a tax rollback election. Well, we grew past 3.5%. And there was a petition filed that caused us to have to endure a tax rollback election. And that will be in May. If this rollback is approved, our city will lose over $1 million worth of revenue. And I just said to you that the majority of those revenues have been invested in our police department. So this is serious for us. I can't say a whole lot about this because once this goes to the people as an elected official, I can simply tell you what we did. And what we did was we held our tax rate at 55 cents. This tax rollback would take our tax rate to 47 cents, and that's where all of the losses will be accrued. And some folks in our community and beyond want to label this issue as a tax issue or an issue of taxation. Friends, I have to tell you, this issue has nothing to do with taxes at all. This is a fight for our safety. You see, we live in La Marque, and we live next to Texas City, and we have Hitchcock on the other side of us. And I don't know how it is in the rest of our county, but in Texas City and in La Marque and in Hitchcock, many of us have to duck and dodge bullets. Many of us have to decide which grocery stores we want to go into and which convenience stores we choose to get gas at. In Texas City, in La Marque, And in Hitchcock, we have to contemplate whether or not that was a firecracker or a gunshot. In Texas City, La Marque, and in Hitchcock, we are actually contemplating whether or not we can safely get from point A to point B. Friends, this is never about taxes. This is always about safety. And in the end of this, we're talking about, on a home worth $150,000, we're talking about $10 a month. And so now we're at a crossroads in our city, over $10 a month. And before you say $10 is a lot of money and folks don't have money, I grew up in public housing and I went days without eating, so I know what that means. But we have to decide what type of city we want to be for $10 a month. And I'll leave you with this thought, friends. For $10 a month, I would gladly pay to make sure that I've done all I can to make sure that my granddaughter is safe. What would you do to make sure your family is safe? Would $10 a month be an issue for you? If it was your grandmother or grandfather, if it was your spouse or your children, what would you do? I want to thank you for listening to me. Our city is at a crossroads. Pray for us. But whatever happens in May, I can tell you this. I've said it to you the entire remarks. The city of La Marque's resilient. We're going to be all right. God bless you.
This is a special year in the history of Texas City. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the horrific explosion that took so many lives. But also what came from that in the Phoenix, in the ashes rising of Texas City, is that 25 years ago, we were named an All-American City in 1997. And the leadership on becoming one of those All-American cities is in the room with us today. As former mayor and First Lady, Charles and Mary Ellen Doyle are here, part of that wonderful team, wonderful leadership that brought us the All-America City Award in 1997. Doyles, thank you for being here today.
He has been a resident of Texas City for over 46 years. He graduated from Texas City High School in 1989. He earned his bachelor's degree in journalism from the University of Texas at Austin. He served as an educator with TCISD for 15 years. While going to school there, he went to night school to College of the Mainland, and he earned his Associates of Applied Science degree in Process Technology. And since that time, immediately went to work for Marathon and has been working there for 10 years. Prior to being elected to mayor, he served as a commission member for 16 years from 2000 to the year 2016. He is a proud father of 4 children, Dedrick Jr., Darian, Dion, and Donovan. Please welcome the Honorable Mayor of Texas City, Dedrick Johnson Sr.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Thank you all who have assembled today here, to our esteemed guests on the panel, Commissioner Giusti, Mayor Bell. Thank you, Mr. Center and Ms. Paige Michelle. It is indeed a pleasure to stand before you as mayor of the city of Texas City, where community matters. I do want to, it's already been established with our introduction of our elected official, but I do want to acknowledge those commissioners who do serve with me. Commissioner at Large, Mr. Kevin Yackley is here. Commissioner Jamie Clark is here. Thank you so very much for coming. And our Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Thelma Bowie. Did I miss any other commissioners of the city? I think that's, and I want to thank all of our staff who has come here. Just a little bit about the city of Texas City. The city of Texas City is an awesome place to live. It's an awesome place to serve and lead. We too have grown and seen population shifts from a city of 47,000 people to our latest census results, putting us at 51,500. We have constructed and at least have 4,500 new homes that are available here in the city of Texas City since 2021. And we are the fourth largest port in the city of, in the state of Texas, I'm sorry, the fourth largest port. The city of Texas City, we really like to think and believe that we have sound budgetary practices. Our budget statements and our property tax rates in comparison are before you. We are not the lowest tax rate in the area, but we are not the highest, and so we feel that we are doing good with the finances that we have. But one of the things I do want to share with you, in addition to that stat, is over the past 4 years, we have consistently lowered the tax rate in the city of Texas City. As you can see, thank you very much. As you can see, in 2018, 2019, we were right at 55 cents. At 2019 and 20, we were a little bit below 54 cents. 2020 and 2021, we were right at 51 cents. And this year, our commission approved to continue to lower that tax rate, just like what was said before me. Might not be lowering your taxes because we don't have anything to do with all of that. But the tax rate, based upon your value of property, is now at 49 cents in the city of Texas City. And so we're thankful for them being financially conscious. We also boast about our annual financial report has received from the Governmental Finance Officers Association. For 36 consecutive years, we have received a certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting. So I'm very thankful to Ms. Laura Boyd and our entire financial department. We have 99 problems, but financial reporting ain't one of them in the city of Texas City. We're very thankful to their professionalism. As it relates to economic development, our city is growing. Our city is always seeking new and diverse economical opportunities for our city and for our citizens. We have some projects on the table right now. What you're going to see if you drive through the city of Texas City in a week or so are the festive lights that have been strung across our historical downtown district of 6th Street. We're testing those lights right now, and we're going to hit the switch pretty soon and light up the town and have a good time on 6th Street. Also added to that 6th Street area is a new food truck plaza. This new community park is going to be, we're going to break ground on that this year. It's going to include a lot of entertainment amenities and just some times for us to get out and go outside in the middle of this pandemic and have a great time. We have a QR code that's before you right now. If you want to take your phones and scan that code, this is for a community survey. Don't fill out the survey while I'm talking. Y'all need to listen, but y'all can go ahead and scan that code if you want to and fill it out later on. In this strategic, what we're doing is we're coming up with a strategic plan. Our Economic Development Corporation has enlisted the support of an external organization, Garner Economics and DCI, and they're helping us figure out the footprint that we're going to have moving forward. But this footprint cannot be reached without the input of community. That's why in Texas City, community matters. So if you take an opportunity to hit that QR code or even just visit our website for the link, you can give your input to that strategic plan. We have a few capital improvements going on in the city of Texas City, and these capital improvements are very significant to the day-to-day operations of Texas City. Our Public Works has been the recipient of a GLO grant. One of the GLO grants we received this past year was upwards of $15 million, and this was for some project-specific, these grants were project-specific, so we're going to be continuing on with, we just wrapped up the Texas Avenue Drainage Improvement Project. This grant will also address the 34th Street drainage, 7th Avenue drainage, drainage behind our Galveston County Health District, which is the South Point subdivision, as well as Freeway Park and Amburn Road. These projects are very vital to the vitality of life in the city of Texas City. They will also address the repairs that are needed in our pump station. Many of you know that when the city of Texas City has streets that flood, we activate 2 huge pump systems that we have, and both of those pumping systems that get water off of our streets and pump it into Moses Bayou, both of those pump systems are in great need of repair. And so we have grant funds that we've acquired throughout the year that will mitigate those problems, and we are already underway working heavily with ARC engineers to repair those pump stations A and B. We also have designed a mega pump system that will assist in taking the water out of Moses Lake, which is currently the retention spot where all of our drainage goes to Moses Lake, and there pump some of that into the Gulf of Mexico so that we can keep on having the capacity to keep our streets free of flood waters. That Moses Lake Pump Station is about a $16 million project. But once again, we have received some grants, some state grants, some national FEMA grants to help in that endeavor, and we'll be moving forward with the huge Moses Lake Pump Station. That is big news to the city of Texas City, and we can't wait for that project to be underway. We have more public works projects as far as the Edward Street buyout plan. The Edward Street buyout program is, we have several homes in the Edward Street area that have been flood prone for years, for decades even. And so we have received over $2 million in grants to offer those residents an opportunity to be bought out and relocated out of those flood prone areas. So we're happy that that's almost being concluded right now. The housing developments in the city of Texas City, it's looking good as we continue to grow in population, expand geographically. We still need to meet the needs of those people who desire different types of housing options. We have 2 new apartments over in the Lago Mar area, the Huntington apartments, as well as the Catalan apartments. What's significant about these 2 apartments is not only they address the housing need, but they address the LMI. Those who are from low to moderate incomes can qualify. A certain amount of people in those establishments meet those qualifications. In addition to those 2, we have obviously Lago Mar, which is still in continual phases. A significant portion of that master plan community is complete. We still have quite a bit to go, as well as the Crystal Lagoon, which is one of the best amenities in the state of Texas, right here in the city of Texas City. If you haven't been to the Crystal Lagoon, they offer special events, Lagoon Fest, and just another outlet for not only those in the Lago Mar area, but for those all throughout the city of Texas City and our surrounding friends. We have 2 other new developments that are continuing, one not so new in Pearlbrook, but it's past its infancy stage, but it is going to develop into the north side, Pearlbrook North, and even further north of that, we have Marlowe Lake. Not pictured here, we do have some other developments, such as Central Park, which is north of Mall of the Mainland, north of Mainland City Center, as we continue to expand and offer new housing options for the citizens of Texas City. As it relates to public safety, we have a very robust Texas City Police Department and Texas City Fire Department. Our Texas City Police Department is led by Chief Joe Stanton. He is an officer, a chief that has been with the, thank you very much. Chief Joe Stanton has been with us for about, 28 years now? Pretty close to 28 years, and he's a homegrown police chief, and he's doing a fine job for our police station. We have almost 101 officers. Our police department has grown from 85 to 91 and from 91 to 101. And we don't quite have that 101 number maximized yet, but the City Commission did approve the acceptance of a COPS grant that allows us to grow our department. As this city grows, so too will the need for public safety and things and first responders. So we're thankful that Chief Stanton is doing a great job working with that department. Our fire department is led by Chief David Zackel. I see David here earlier today. There he is, right behind the camera, man. Thank you, Chief. Chief David Zackel is running 3 fire stations right now, and with 78 authorized positions. Out of those fire stations, we also run our EMS services. All of our firefighters are EMS paramedic certified. And we are happy to announce that because the city is growing, so too will the need for public safety. We are expanding, and I mentioned this last time, but we are embarking upon our 4th fire station. Our new fire station, number 4, will be built over on the west side of I-45 in the Buc-ee's Tanger outlet area. That new fire station is also going to include a new police substation, so we can respond to whatever emergencies we need to in the most efficient way possible. Here is just a slight rendition of that. We have contracted with Joyner Architects to design and that new fire station, the police substation. That's going to be, we're going to break ground on that this year. We're very excited about that. With that new station comes the opportunity for at least 18 new firefighter paramedics, as well as an expanded police department. All right. Code enforcement. Talk to the citizens of Texas City, and they will always tell you that code enforcement is one of the top concerns of the area. We got a lot of people coming through the city, a lot of new construction going on, and sometimes you might see some unsightly things in the city. But to this date, in the year 2021, we have mitigated 159 junk vehicles have been abated. And that's awesome. When you pass by an abandoned road or something like this, you see an abandoned vehicle, on the side of the road, or you see some junk vehicles in front of people's yard, those are eyesores, and nobody really wants that in the community. We have taken care of over 600 sanitation junk trash cases have been abated. 177 high grass complaints have been abated. We're all talking about 2021 in 1 year. Let's take a look at some of the things that we have faced. Sometimes you pass by a corner where somebody just decides to dump an old piece of furniture, and what that does is that invites other people to do it right along with them. And before you know it, you have a pile of trash on your corner. Our code enforcement department has shown you this before and after picture because we want to keep the city of Texas City not only a safe place, but a clean place. Now, I don't know what this person was doing, but they were collecting things. Some people call it hoarding or whatever. But this is outside. This is not in the person's house. This is outside. This is seen from a public street, and this is really not what we want in our city, right? So our code enforcement department goes over there, makes contact with them, and tells them what they need to do to clean that up. If they don't do it after a certain time, we'll be happy to do it for you, and we'll send you the bill. So our code enforcement has done that, and you can see the before and after photos right here and there. Let's take a look at another situation we had here in the city of Texas City. We kind of call this the bicycle shop. I don't know what he was collecting, bicycle frames, lawnmowers, whatever. This is on a main thoroughfare of a residential area in the city of Texas City. Nobody wants to see that, right? You contact them, you give them a certain amount of days, let's clean that up. If they don't, we'll be happy to do it for you, and we'll send you the bill. So this is the before and after, how we got that taken care of. So much junk in this person's yard, we had to get a grappler that craned, as you can see, to remove it, to put it on the side of the road, just so it could be collected. So I'm very happy that the City of Texas City Code Enforcement Department has been working nonstop. Don't ever let anybody tell you that we're not serious about code enforcement in our city. And then you have some of those areas that are just passively unkept, right? Here's somebody who owns a lot. They don't have any structures on the lot, so they feel like they don't have to take care of it. But we have natural habitation that needs to be taken care of as well. And this is a before and after picture of that. So I'm happy that our code enforcement department is doing great. But there's something about the word code enforcement. It just makes me feel like we have to force people to do what they're already doing, right? So we've changed the name of code enforcement in the city of Texas City to Neighborhood Improvement Services. From this point on, when you hear people talk about neighborhood improvement services, it will be something that was formerly referred to as code enforcement, but we don't want the people of the city of Texas City to think that we have heavy governmental hands and are forcing them to do something that they should always do. We, just like everybody else, is all about improving the neighborhood. So I want to thank Chief Zackrell for us in that transition. Let's give him a hand for that, please. Texas City Independent School District has always been a great partner here in the city of Texas City, and our very own Dr. Duarte was just awarded Citizen of the Year by the Texas City La Marque Chamber of Commerce. We're thankful for her leadership. Dr. Duarte is overseeing the new implementation of new campuses as we continue to grow our district. We just had a ribbon cutting for Guajardo Elementary School. That's now fully operational, and the staff and students are there, as well as Sims Elementary. And the construction of La Marque Middle School is underway as we speak. And I believe the school district is really looking forward to moving in there sometime around the fall of 2022. Hopefully we're going to keep our fingers crossed with that. The College of the Mainland is absolutely the best community college in the country, and it's right here in the city of Texas City. We're thankful to Dr. Warren Nichols, who's been a great community partner working with us. And one of the things we always boast about in that is the Opening Doors Promise Scholarship. The Opening Doors Promise Scholarship is a last dollar scholarship opportunity that covers the cost of tuition and fees for any eligible class of 2022 graduating high school student. Once again, tuition and fees paid for by the College of the Mainland and its community partners for any graduate of 2022. We're thankful for that. The quality of life in Texas City continues to bud and continues to grow, even in the midst of this global pandemic. The city of Texas City has gotten some things as close to back to normal as possible. Our Moore Public Library is now open. We've adjusted some hours. We do have in-person story time by appointment only. You can do a single family or a group. We have take-home crafts and literary kits seasonal activities, virtual online gaming. We're back to in-person programming by appointment, and we're still operating under limited attendance, social distancing, and things like that. But we have one of the best libraries around. Mr. Luke is just an awesome library director. If you haven't had an opportunity to visit our newly renovated library, you need to make that a priority because it's an absolute joy. Our recreation and tourism and our parks department is back in full swing. We had our successful basketball season this year. Our youth basketball, in fact, is going to be hosting the state tournament this weekend. The Sanders Vincent Center, Sanders Vincent Gymnasium, is open. Obviously, we have the games, and we recently rededicated that and named it in honor of our late recreation and tourism director. It is now called the J. Arthur Williams Gymnasium, so we're happy for that new dedication. Our shooting range is temporarily closed until March 21st, but it's closed because it's undergoing some renovations, particularly due to our rifle ranges, and we are adding an archery range. I saw Cupid there this past weekend. He was practicing, so you want to get out there and take a look at our new archery range in the city of Texas City. In addition to that, we are wrapping up our many years of construction and remodeling to our parks. Over 40 parks in the city of Texas City. And for the past few years, we've been resurfacing the playground equipment, replacing outdated equipment, and we just did our last 7 parks. Those parks, Walker, Goodson, Florence, Tarpey, Westview, Danforth, and Amburn, are all brought up to date, and we're thankful for those remodeled parks in the city of Texas City. Emergency management, very important as it relates to power outages and hurricanes and the things that we might see. Our emergency management department, we have an emergency notification system, Everbridge. If you want to receive emergency notifications about the things that are going on in the city of Texas City, you need to link up with Everbridge. We have a QR code. You can get to that. It sends out to your cell phone. Even if you don't have a cell phone, you still have a house phone. You can get the emergency notifications on your house phone. Why do you want to sign up for Everbridge? It's very important, so you know what's going on around you in the midst of an emergency. You want to scan this QR code and just register your number. Anytime there's a power outage, in case you didn't look outside and see for yourself, we can tell you that we have a power outage going on. And we can give you the latest instructions as to what to do, right? Whether you need to shelter in place, whether we order an evacuation. Everbridge is very, very useful. The latest updates on any dangerous weather situations. And I even think our school system has a notification system in case we need to close down schools for whatever inclement weather that's coming up. Our emergency management director, last time I was standing here, his name was Tom Munoz. Tom Munoz has gone on to the city of Houston, and we have Mr. Bruce Clausen. But Mr. Bruce Clausen will soon be leaving us, and we're going to have Mr. Joe Tumbleson. Joe Tumbleson is now with our Texas City Fire Department. He's going to be retiring and taking over the new helm as our emergency management and homeland security director. He's had over 25 plus years with the city of Texas City. He's worked part-time for many years in the environment hazmat response industry. He has a whole resume of just wonderful accolades that leaves me, you, and the rest of the city in full confidence that we are in good hands with Mr. Joe Tumbleson as our emergency management and homeland security director. COVID-19, this pandemic is still lingering around. But the city of Texas City, just like the city of La Marque, we're resilient in following the protocols and making sure that we go back to life as normal as much as we can. Our positivity rates, just like those in the county, are declining. I think the latest thing I got was that we're below 12%, and that we continue to work with the Galveston County Health District. Galveston County Health District is our source of information as it relates to the statistics we get, the protocols we should be taking, the newest in breaking news relative to COVID. We depend on Galveston County Health District to be that liaison to the national medical industry. Community matters here in the city of Texas City. Everything we do, we keep the community in mind. One of the things that we've been doing as of late is we've been rotating on a monthly basis to different areas across our city, Sanders Center, Carver Center, College of the Mainland, Showboat Pavilion, having these roundtable discussions. Community conversations is what we call them. Community conversations with Mayor Johnson. An opportunity for the citizens of Texas City and surrounding areas to come and have a direct conversation with me, get your questions answered face to face. And our next community conversations is right here before you on the screen. It's going to be Thursday, March 10th in this Doyle Center. And then Thursday, April 7th will be our last one for this go around in the Sanders Vincent Center. We've been doing those every month. After May, we'll probably go and break that down to a quarterly rotation. instead of every month. But that's an opportunity for the citizens to come out and just speak directly with me and the staff who's responsible for different things going on around the city. That's from 6 to 7:15. If you haven't been to one yet, you don't know what you're missing. We give away some fun prizes too, so you might want to stop by and check it out. This year, in an effort to help families, we are offering some internship opportunities, right? We have kids who come home for summer in the college, and we always have a great Parks and Recreation summer job opportunity, but we've added 21 new positions in the city of Texas City, and some of them are somewhat what we call entry level. 18, 19-year-old kids can get a job in the summer, but some of them are called advanced level internships. Oftentimes, colleges or college students have coursework where they need an internship, and so we'll offer them direct interns with our executive level staff, whether it be HR, whether it be emergency management, economic development, criminal justice. We have opportunities for our kids who are going off being educated in colleges. They don't have to just run to, Dallas or Florida or Atlanta to find jobs. They can come right back home in the communities that they're from and work in their own cities. So you see these positions right here before you. If you have a son or daughter, a niece or nephew, or somebody who might be in the age bracket, from 18 to 24 years old in college seeking an internship, these are just a few examples of the internships that we will have available starting this summer. And beginning March 1st, just a couple of weeks, is when they can start that application process. So March 1st, if you log in to texascitytx.gov, go to our HR link and look at these job opportunities. We're very thankful, and I know that there shouldn't be a single college student, teenager who says they can't find employment in the city of Texas City, because we have it right here for you. If you missed anything that I said and want to follow up, you can do so with us on our City of Texas City website, our Facebook page, LinkedIn, Twitter, Sidewalk, Chalk. We're all over the place. But I do want to thank also all of the staff that's here for the City of Texas City. And Mr. Center took it from me, but I was going to pay homage to my predecessor, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Doyle, who is sitting in the back also. I can't thank you enough for the leadership that you have provided. You have provided for the City of Texas City. He mentioned 1997. That golly, it seems like yesterday, but that was, 25 years ago, whatever. Mayor Doyle was at the helm, and I was a young school teacher mentoring some young boys. And not only did they win the All-America City Award that year, but they reached out to me and the group of guys that I was mentoring, and they allowed us to travel with them to Kansas City, Missouri. That was a life-changing experience for many of those boys in that group, and I thank you for that, sir. So on behalf of the City of Texas City, I want to say thank you to everybody for being here today, and let's continue to make Texas City, La Marque, and Galveston County one of the best places to live around here. Thank you.
254 counties in the great state of Texas. Aren't we glad we are in Galveston County? And secondly, aren't we pleased at the leadership that we have, and thrilled that we've got men like Mayor Keith Bell and Mayor Dedrick Johnson, two cities where it is a great place to live, work, play, and worship. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the sponsors, chamber staff, great luncheon. Don't forget to go vote. The early voting is going on all over the county. The election day is March the 1st. Thank you again. God bless you all. God bless Texas City, and God bless La Marque. We'll see you soon.